Hello and welcome again. You can see I got a little bit of a cold developing. I'm trying to get rid of that, so hopefully it doesn't deteriorate from the quality of this video, because I like to bring you the best in HD and all that sort of stuff. In fact, I think it's making me deeper in my tone. It resonates better with the earlobe, so you are able to understand the words that are coming from my mouth. Now I just sound like an idiot, so I'm going to stop. Oh yeah, well, I woke up this morning and I didn't really know what to talk about, so I put a little tweet out there to the Twitterverse to see if there were any topics that anybody wanted to really talk about. And one of my good friends, and that's controversial at the moment, Jeff, or Wobbly Onion, he tweeted me back to maybe discuss the whole PR debacle that's currently happening. Now, for those of you that don't know, there has been one of the big sites overseas has decided to stop accepting gifts and monetary support from publishers or distributors to do reviews on games, which is all fine and well. Let me just go into a little bit of detail in terms of what that involves. Basically, what happens is when a game gets released, a publisher or a distributor like us would then say, okay, cool, we'd like to send the following press people to go and see this game. Now, what that would involve at times is we'd have to fly our press overseas to the UK or to the US and then put them in a hotel, and they then get chauffeured around to go see the game that they want to go see. Now, that obviously is all on our account or the publisher's account, because we want them to go and see the game. We are inviting them to come along, so we're kind of saying, well, we'll cover the costs. Now, the big press company that's decided to pull all this funds has clearly stated they no longer want that support. They would like to continue to receive the invites, but they will make their own way to these events. What they've also said is they will no longer like to receive gifts from PR people such as me. So what happens sometimes is we get really cool merchandise, like for instance little Hitman figurines. It's not really of a high value, but I think though the value is they will no longer accept gifts of $50 or more, and if it is $50 or more, it has to be declared to the company to say, look, we've received a gift, and then they can choose whether or not they want to accept it or not, because in the long run it's kind of seen as bribery, and I think that's where the whole thing is coming around. Publishers have gotten into this state where they are sending press overseas and to these things, and I don't know how it's happened, but everybody's sort of expecting you to treat it with care or like be biased towards that publisher. I can't speak on behalf of other people or other companies and what they do, but I don't know, just for me, I'm sorry, did you get the gist of that? You understand? You do? Okay, cool. If not, go back to the beginning, start again, and go. Anyways, so from our point of view, the industry in South Africa is very, very small. Not a lot of people are involved in the gaming industry when you compare it to overseas places. So for our publications to go out and do that is very difficult. In fact, a lot of our publications have day jobs. A lot of them don't do the work they do full time. There's a handful of them. Literally, there's a handful of them. I can count them on my hand, not even my full hand, that do it full time so that they make a living off of it. So that's how small our industry is. And for them to suddenly say no, we can't do that is just not acceptable. But at the same token, I don't think. I've never seen it as a biased thing. I've always seen it as, when you have your birthday. It's your 10th birthday, and you're inviting all your friends to come to the party. You're not going to tell them, okay, come to my party, I'm going to have a pass the parcel, I'm going to have cake and sweets and stuff like that, but you must pay me 60 Rand to cover all the costs of everything like that. I've never been to a party like that, and I've never hosted a party like that. Your parents always come to the party and they'll fork out the cash to set up the decorations, make it look nice for you, and then you invite your friends to come over and have a good time. They come to the party, and and then they go away, and then the next day you go back to school and everybody comes to you and say, hey, what a great party that was, had so much fun, wada. And that's, I know it's kind of childish, but that's how I've always looked at it in terms of my PR to my press. You know, we host an event, we say, come to our event, we're catering for you guys, we want you to come and have a thing, because our focus is meant to be on the product that we're showing them. So we're showing them a title and saying, what do you think of this game? You know, if I think it gets a bit petty when everybody, I mean, I don't know what it's like from the journalist point of view. From my side, you know, we love to do an event and we love to deck it out and theme it and say, oh, this would be cool to give to the press, this would be a nice little feature and everything like that we can add. We really don't feel deceitful in the way that we do things. I think that's been a major issue. I think a lot of people have been saying there's a lot of underhanded business going along where a press person will give a gift to a journalist and say, here's this, oh, by the way, here's this game, but you know, just remember that gift I gave you. You know, if you could just be careful with my game and, you know, just give it a good rating. I think that's where it's coming in. I can honestly say I've never done that to a press person. I mean, we've joked around a little bit, and I'm not going to be silly and say we haven't had terrible games. We've had terrible games. And you know, I think it gets, you just have to look at it at face value and say, you know, well, this is what we're kind of expecting. But at the same time, you don't bribe your journalists to go and do it. You tell them the facts. You give them the story straight and say, you set the outlay. And I think that's where the hype engine comes out. Like when people hype up a game, the expectation grows. So, you know, if you keep that expectation realistic, say, look, this is the game that's coming out. These are the facts about the game. You know, I'm not expecting you to go in there all guns blazing and saying it's the greatest thing in the world or it's horrible, or you set your expectations high and then you just turn around and it's poo. So I think there's a lot of stuff in between that has to happen, and that's where the relationship comes in. That's where I come in. That's why it's called PR, public relations. My job is to be friendly with the press, you know, and talk to them and communicate. Keep that channel of communication open. Show them what's going on. And when they post an article that is unfactual, I'm going to climb into them and say, what the hell are you doing? Because they're talking to you, the consumer. And they're not talking to just one of you, they're talking to thousands of you. And if they're going to post an article that's either controversial or not factual, and they haven't come to us for that information, they haven't used an official source and it's been opinionated, then I'm going to get angry, obviously, because they didn't come to me for that sort of information. You know, they didn't give me the time to go and research it with my publishers. And unfortunately for us, sometimes it does take time because we're not the first party. We have to go through our channels to get the correct information, and sometimes it's not available. And then the press come up with their own sort of ideas of what it must be, and that's a little bit frustrating sometimes. And that's where we have to step in and say, "Hang on, just 1 second, you've got something wrong here." So that's really my job, and I don't know. From my personal point of view, a lot of my friends are press. I mean, I think a lot of people forget that before I worked at Megrom, I used to play games with all of the press, or with most of them actually. I was a gamer just like them, just like you, and we've just sort of grown into the industry, and it's been a fantastic journey. And I hate to see that sort of relationship get jarred in between a business or working relationship. But yeah, these are the challenges that we face. You know, these are the challenges that we have to come up with, and we have to keep those lines very clear. You know, friend and work associate, if you want to call it that, or work acquaintance. That's the word. Acquaintance. And I like to be friends with my press, and I like to make sure that they can come to me and say stuff to me, like talk to me about things or issues that they're having, or you know, they're not getting this. And I get that a lot. A lot of press come to me asking for stuff. They feel like they've been dealt a sour hand of cards, and they want me to reevaluate it. And of course I have to do that. You know, it's only fair, and I try to keep all my press happy. And there are a lot of press, and it's not just the hardcore gaming press. It's, you know, it's your news sites as well, the lifestyle, entertainment guys. There's a lot of different types of press, so it's, you know, it's a bit of a balancing game to try and get everybody happy. And I've also got my own job to do. I have my own targets to reach. I have my own. I have to deal directly with the publishers overseas and give them report backs and say, this is what we've done. Ultimately, what it comes down to is that my job is to make sure that press are talking about my games, be it bad, be it good, hopefully more good than bad, and to just sort of encourage good incentive on it. I'm not going to go bribe my press. If I do send them a gift, I don't load it in terms of like loading it with an underhanded question or anything like that. I will give them a gift and say, check this out, it's pretty cool, what do you think? What do you think? And I think that's the key part, is talking to the press and saying, I want your opinion on this. I think it's pretty cool. This is what I think about it. This is the reason why I'm giving it to you. So go ahead. And it's the same thing for our events. For most of our events, we've really tried to have experiential events where we get outdoors and we try and mimic what happens in the event. And it's not, but mimics what happens in the game. And it's not because we want to, bend the press's arm and say, ooh, we've taken you to this very exclusive event. We want you to now give our game a very good rating because look how much money we've spent on you. That's not our deal. We want you guys to go out there and have a good time. And that's why we've gotten a lot more of our community involved. We invite members of the public to come to our events because we want everybody to sort of get their opinion, and then they can go and talk to the guys on the press sites and say, no, I went to that event. That's exactly what happened. That's how it is. Or, maybe they said, the shrimp wasn't off. It was actually very delicious. I had lots of it and I had no problems. That sort of stuff. I don't know. It's a very controversial type of scenario, and we really do try hard to keep it on the playing field. For me, I have a very high moral standard, and I was always taught from my family when I was in college as well. Being in PR, the number one thing you need to be in PR is truthful. You cannot hide from a lie, and you cannot hide from being deceitful to anybody, because it'll eventually catch up to you, like it has with recent events to other PR people. And that's one thing that I'll always try to keep true to myself, is I will always be upfront to my press. Obviously there's certain things that I can't reveal, and that's more to do with information on games, and that comes from my publisher. So if I can't reveal it, I can't reveal it. I'm bound by contract. I can't do anything like that. But I won't lie to my press, because I think that's just going to bite me in the ass later on. So for the most part, I like to say that I keep things truthful, and I think that you earn a lot more respect that way if you're upfront with everything that goes on. But yeah, it's a fun game, I guess. It's why we're here, and I think it's definitely one of the things that a lot of people don't see that happens behind the scenes. Gaming isn't all guns and roses. It's more like a battlefield, really. It's like any corporate environment or any product that's trying to get out there. So people mustn't think it's any different from anything else that you do maybe in your work. Maybe you have a similar situation. Maybe you do deal with press. So, everybody wants good coverage on their products. That's why we're in business. And I think a lot of people forget that gaming is a business. And there are certain things that need to be fulfilled in that business. But, for the most part, I think, we have a good time with it. And I'm going to send my press gifts and stuff. And it's not to shower them and make them feel good about it. It's because it's something cool that's been done in the game. It's like when you go to a comic book store and you buy one of those massive figurines from your game because you love the game, and that's what we want. We love our game, so we want to send that out to our press. That's why we do this stuff. And if press don't want to accept my gift, then that's cool. They don't have to. I'm not going to push it onto them, and I will never push an opinion unless it's wrong, of course. And I have factual basis that it's wrong, and I will go in there and I will tell my press person, you've got this wrong, and we will sit and discuss it and see where their viewpoint was from, where their vantage point was. But yeah, anyway, so that was my little spiel. Thanks to Wobbly Onion for giving me the hint and chatting about it. I thought it was quite cool. And yeah, like and subscribe to my video. Let me know what you think. Do you think we're a deceitful industry? Do you think there's a lot of hidden secrets that shouldn't be kept away from everybody? Do you think that giving a gift to somebody is wrong? I mean, Christmas is coming. Do we give our press gifts and say thank you for the great coverage that we've had in previous articles? I don't know. Let's leave it up to you. Post a comment below, like and subscribe, share this video with your friends, and let's have a discussion around it. Cool. Cheers. Of me taking dancing lessons.